What is going on, guys? Welcome to Purgatory, and today I wanted to give a first impressions kind of review of the fresh season in Splatoon 3. And if you guys don't know everything that we got in the season, you can go ahead and check out the video that I will link up top or down in the description below. Either way, you will see it pop up. I want to talk about this season. This is probably the biggest update we've gotten for Splatoon 3. We got a lot of stuff, but I wanted to first go over the new maps, which are easily, I believe, my favorite parts of this update, because Ami and Manta Maria, I think, are both really good maps. Do prefer them over some of the base maps in this game, especially the new Splatoon 3 maps, unfortunately. I would rate Ami as, it's a really good new map. And Manta Maria got a lot of improvements that it definitely deserved and needed from Splatoon 2 into this game, and I think it's really nice. I see why some people are a little upset at the box jump that you can usually do in Splatoon 2, but at the same time it probably made it to where it was too easy for people to get into the enemy spawn and made it too hard for the defending team to defend whenever they would get the lower hand of the battle. That's just how I see it. Maybe there's something in their stats that they didn't like that was happening too often on the map. But either way, it's still a fantastic map, and it's again one of the better ones of the re-released returning maps. Those two maps are fantastic. The kits that we got, I really like. I'm a little underwhelmed with Tri-Swasher. I'm not too happy about the Splash-O-Matic getting a kit, but I love the 96 Gal Deco. The new specials in this game are a lot of fun. Kraken feels balanced in a way. I do think that its duration needs to be decreased whenever doing damage. Whenever you actually take out somebody, it decreases your duration. Having that end lag at the very end of the Kraken being where you can't shoot or defend yourself at all is, I think, a good balance right now for it. The Super Chump, I do think, needs to be a little buffed, but I do love the design behind it. I love the fact that it's pretty much like a giant mortar strike. It drives people away from the point for a little bit until they pop them. If they don't pop them, they explode and cover a lot of turf. It's a cute design too. It's one of those specials that you just love, but you know it might need to get buffed. But it is a very good displacement tool, and it fits perfectly for the end zap in my personal opinion. Yeah, all the other weapon kits I think are fine. I think my favorite has to be the 96 Gal Deco, that or the Splat Charger, because I love how they really Charger is an option to be aggressive, and I love that. But let's go on to this catalog. I do actually really like the catalog. I do like the clothing that you get with it, and one of my favorite emotes. It's at a very early tier, and it's repping Inkopolis, and it's all pretty much like an emote that is almost beat for beat the Splatoon 1 animations whenever you would complete a game and be a specific animation for your weapon. They brought those back and made them look better, and that's awesome. But overall, the clothing styles are really nice. I actually do like them a lot, and all the quality of life updates that we got are really nice. But one of my favorite updates in terms of the minor parts of the update is the jukebox. My favorite part of it is the fact that you pay 100 coins, whatever they call them, to play a song, and while you have the game open, that song will persist. It will always play until you either change the song or turn off the game. After every game you get, whenever you go right back to the lobby, the music is still playing. It's amazing. It's one of my favorite of the kind of small side of the updates. Online Table Turf, I've only played very few matches, but online Table Turf is a ton of fun. The fact that you get a lot of XP from it is great. You can just get your friends on and just have a funny little battle. And it's fantastic. I've just seen nothing but good for it, and I'm so glad that Table Turf is getting a lot of love from the developers. It isn't just that side mode, they're actually doing a lot of love for it. But yeah, I think that's really everything that we need to talk about, but I really wanted to go ahead and get into this DLC. So anybody that hasn't picked up the expansion pass, the Inkopolis Plaza reskin pretty much is available right now if you have the expansion pass. You also get some pretty cool benefits for having the expansion pass, and I do want to talk about what I like and don't like about the Inkopolis DLC, because there's a lot of potential that they didn't capitalize on, and that's the only disappointing thing, really. I love the fact that when I boot up the game, I see the Splatoon 1 colors, and I see the Splatoon 1 Plaza, like the moment I boot up the game. You don't even have to go through Splatsville to get to Inkopolis. You can literally just boot up the game on Inkopolis, and it's fantastic. The walking around brings back the nostalgia of just seeing everything, and then seeing how the environments change, seeing all the new characters. They're so lively, and seeing the fact that they actually updated it by putting table turf over in the corner, and then they replaced one of those buildings that didn't really mean much, and they turned it into a Salmon Run building, which is really cool. Seeing the Squid Sisters return, the fact that they'll play Splatfest is really cool. But here's where my flaws start happening. I have a feeling that for some reason, with the Inkopolis DLC, they could have brought back the Splatoon 1 campaign. And I know that's probably a big task. Technically, they already have it. They just need to implement it into this game. That is just a copium kind of thing. That'll probably never happen. I never expected it to happen, but it was potential that I saw that could have been really cool for anybody that wanted to play the Splatoon 1 campaign. Next up, the testing range. So the testing range, whenever you go find a weapon, and then you can test it out in the testing range, you load into the Splatoon 3 testing range. Not the one in the lobby, but the one that you actually go into whenever you go try to pick up a weapon from Sheldon or the weapon store. Where I think they really missed the mark on it was the fact that they didn't bring back the Splatoon 1 testing range. I get it. The testing range that we have now is really cool. It's really good, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just to capitalize on that nostalgia for other people, making the Splatoon 1 test range for the shop would have been really cool to see. And it's just like a small little detail that I feel like they could have easily done, but just didn't really do. And the last but not least is the news. Whenever I first booted up this DLC, in my reaction, you guys saw this, I expected to see the news, but with the Squid Sisters. So instead of being the Splatcast that we usually get when you're in Splatsville, this time around you get the Squid Sisters. Because when you go up there, they still have the cameras, they have the TV, they're still sitting there in that little room. I don't know if it would have been so hard to just change the news in Inkopolis whenever you're actually in Inkopolis. But that was probably one of the biggest disappointments for me, because I feel like to really get that nostalgia going, you see, just like imagine you booting up the game, it pulls up, it plays the Splatoon 1 music, that little news audio, and it's even like upgraded to be more clear and sound better. And then you just see the Squid Sisters and it plays the same music and everything. That would have been so cool. I understand why they wouldn't do that, because I think canonically, like in the story, the Squid Sisters just don't do the news anymore. It's all the deep cut trio. But at the same time, it would have been really nice to see, and it's probably one of the most disappointing things about this. But overall, for technically $5, if you paid the $25, I go over that whole thing in a video that I'll pop up at this point. Technically $5, I think Inkopolis is very much worth it. I haven't really went back to Splatsville at all, really. It's just because I just prefer the smaller layout than Splatsville, even though Splatsville is fantastic. I love its design, I love the complexity of it, I love what they did. Splatoon 1's Plaza just has a special place in my heart, and I just kind of prefer that design because everything's easier to access. Seeing Spike again is really cool. He's like a more grown-up guy, and he's actually, we didn't know this until now, but he's actually very British, and it's fantastic. Just seeing how they were able to put everything into this one plaza is great. The other like disappointing thing a little bit is I kind of wish they found a purpose for the Hotlantis store instead of just a machine that you find. Good DLC, good season so far. I love the jet sculpture is amazing. The new maps, I really like playing on them. I think I actually prefer Ami over Manta, even though Manta is still fantastic. But overall, I think this is probably the best season we had so far. The only real major disappointment with the season is for Salmon Run. We didn't get a new Salmon Run map. We got a new boss, and that's cool. We haven't seen the boss yet, but we didn't get a new Salmon Run map, and that's really disappointing. And I mean, like, just in general, we didn't get a map at all. We still have the same 4 that 2 of them are ones we've already played, and both of the new ones barely really seeing in rotation all that often. All the good rotations are usually on the older maps, the ones I don't want to play. And yeah, so that was the only thing I was really hoping to see was a brand new Salmon Run map. But we do have Big Run coming up very, very soon, so we will be checking that out. I will be live streaming it if you guys want to go check that out. Links down in the description below to my Twitch channel. Again, overall, fantastic season. There's obviously some ups and downs with it, like the Splash-O-Matic, the Salmon Run map, and the fact that not all of Inkopolis was taken advantage of. Those are some disappointing ones, but overall, I still think this season is a W. The map changes, I never really talked about those, but the map changes are pretty nice. I think they're a step in the right direction. They're good. They added some good places for cover. I just think what they need to do now is add like an extra, at least just an extra route for most of the maps in this game. Hagglefish is fine. Mincemeat, I think, needs a major just rework overall, but it's still, you know, it's okay right now. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe if you're brand new to the channel, and let me know, what did you think about this season? What do you think about the Inkopolis DLC? If you have picked it up, you know my opinion. I love you all. Have an absolutely fantastic day.